What's up? This is Rob Will, and you're listening to the Blazers Balcony with Brooke Olzendam and Casey Holdahl.
Greetings, Blazer fans, and welcome to the Blazers Balcony, episode 158 of the Blazers Balcony, presented by Spirit Mountain Casino. I am your co-host, Casey Holdahl. I'm joined by my co-host and friend from her palatial estate in Southwest Portland. I am in Chicago, Brooke Olzendam. How are you doing, friend?
I'm okay. I am not in Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right. I want to thank everyone. If you haven't seen, I did post on, which I've been going back and forth with Casey for a long time. Like, do I post about what's going on? Do I not? But I just really fell on the fact that I like to share, as I do on this podcast often, as Casey does too, what's going on in my life, what's going on in our lives, what's going on that affects our work, which you guys watch all the time. And so it was important to me to share what was going on, to explain why I'm not on this road trip. So I did post explaining that last week, after, 3 straight weeks of extreme leg pain, which Casey can attest to, he's nodding, where I thought I had a leg strain, a calf strain, maybe it was from my scoliosis. Was it a back thing that was I was not sure what was going on. And I, unfortunately, just kept thinking it's going to get better. It's got to get better. Like, this is, if it's a strain, right? It just gets better. All-Star break started. I went down to Vegas to watch my son's soccer tournament. Could barely get to the field. Like, got there, sat down, I was like on the verge of crying. And I'm like, this is not okay. And so my mom, thank goodness she was there. She really pushed me. And back to what I always say during Heart Month, listen to your body. I wish I would have listened to my body sooner. Went to the ER and they did a ultrasound of my leg. And the doctor came back and said, your leg is full blood clots, like the whole leg. She was very shocked. Like, I could see in her eyes, I was like, oh God, she's nervous. That makes me nervous.
That when you're in the hospital and they say something like, boy, I've never seen this before. Or when you can read their face and they're like,
it was crazy.
What? Like, that's always like, oh boy.
Oh no, I noticed it right. She knelt down. Like, I'm like laying in the seat with my, I'm getting my blood drawn.
Oh, so she gave you the
she knelt down.
The face and the, oh
yes.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
She was eye to eye with me. I'm like, oh good. And she's like, your leg is full of blood clots. I was like, and I start crying automatically because I don't even know what that means. And she's like, this is the worst. She's like, well, thank goodness you came in. Let's hope it hasn't spread to your lungs. I was like, okay. And then I go get a CT scan and I come back. I'm sitting in the same spot. I'm pulling that, the little cart around with me with my blood and all this. Like, I'm in the ER, And by the way, the ER in Vegas is a whole other segment. And so I sit back down and she comes back down again. She kneels down and says, so it definitely did spread to your lungs and you have an oversized blood clot in your lung. You have a pulmonary embolism. And I was just like, didn't we just say that we're hoping it didn't go to the lungs? And now we're saying it's in the lungs. Oh God. And so it was like a crazy experience. They moved me up to like the first level, which was like, we don't know what we're doing with you yet. And as soon as that happened, they moved me up to the actual hospital and put me on a heparin drip, which is a blood thinner to, try to move the blood clots, shrink them essentially. And the next day they had a procedure scheduled for me, which was to go up and take out the blood clot in the heart because it was in the lungs. It was affecting the heart, which is ironic because we're in Heart Month. This is why I'm saying, listen to your body, listen to me, but also do what I say, not what I do. You know what I mean? Like,
you got there eventually, Brooke. Give yourself credit. You did get there eventually.
I should have gone earlier, but I did go. So I do stick to listen to your body. I just wish I would have listened to mine like maybe a couple days before I did. And so they went in to take the blood clot out of the chest because it was leaning on my heart and it was affecting the way my heart was working. So they went in and the doctor came out. When I came to, he was like, I have never in my life, and he's been there forever. He's like been at this Sunrise Hospital, shout out. They were amazing. He's like, I've been doing this for years and I've never seen heparin work faster in anyone than it did in you. I went in to take this huge blood clot out of your heart that I saw in the image and it wasn't there anymore. Wow. It was so small. There was nothing to take out. Like we didn't take, and same with your leg. Like it would shrunk so much. We didn't dare to try to take it out because it was so small. We might've actually like hurt the actual clot, like affected the clot. because when it's huge, you can take it out, and it's like a mass. But if it's small, you don't want to like even try to like worry about it because
Yeah,
you
because
might
then
actually
the potential that it breaks off and like goes somewhere
totally
else. Yeah.
exactly. I've learned so much in the last week.
You should be sponsored by heparin. Like
I
they should
should
give
be
you a
sponsored by
sponsorship.
Heparin, Cheez-Its, and mayo. Well, I'm just waiting. I'm
Yeah,
sitting.
they're like the like super user for heparin. Like they should you should be in one of those like pharmaceutical
Dancing around
commercials
the
where like soft focus and like you looking off in the distance somewhere and being like blood clots can really affect your life, but with heparin you can live your life the way you want to. Like we should get
honestly,
working on this, Brooke. Is
I'm gonna
get
look into
sponsorship
this.
involved here.
I'm gonna look into this because I was told I was a miracle heparin child, and so I
You went
think of
from the
this.
most blood clots they'd ever seen to like you that I mean, yeah,
Literally,
this
that's
is
what they said. They were like, "We are so concerned. We've never seen this many blood clots in a human, and you're not like 90. Like it's not like you have diabetes. Like there's like a certain like when you have certain ailments, like blood clots come with that. All I have is that I fly a lot and I sit a lot for flying. For what why I have it because I didn't. There's no other reason for me to have the blood clots I had. So there's no other reason. So yes, I should look into that sponsorship, and I will now that you've said that. And so, anyways, they did the procedure, went great. They said, you're fine. I stayed another night at the hospital. My poor mother slept in a chair, and they were checking my blood every 6 hours to make sure I was in between like the levels that meant that the blood clots were small enough that I could leave. And so when I finally reached that level, he was like, okay, well, we're gonna let you go. And I was like, can I fly home? And he's like, well, I mean, I'd rather you fly an hour 45 than drive sitting for 12.
yeah.
I was like, and because other people in the same hospital have told me I would be there at least a week. So I was like, looking at my mom, and we kind of like looked at each other like, let's get out of here. And so like we like jump. They threw me in the wheelchair. They pushed me out. I was like, Mom, don't make eye contact with anyone. Just get outside, get in the cab. We're going to the airport. And we did. And then my flight was delayed 7 hours, but that's fine. So I just hung out at the airport with Theo. He was able to go home with me. I missed a whole day of games because of it, but he understood. He came to visit me in the hospital. Sweetie pie. He was so worried. But it was good that he was able to come, and I got to see him for a little bit, and he did really well. They had a great tournament. I saw half of it, which is fine, and came home, and I'm now on Eliquis, which is a two times a day, 2 in the morning, 2 at night. Today is the last day I do that, and then it goes down to 1, and then in 3 months it goes down to half, and like they kind of shorten the prescription, and I just have to be really careful about getting cut or any head injuries. Casey, I'm telling you this now, if I ever get hit in the head, you're supposed to take me to the ER right away.
Yeah, well, Brooke is saying this now. Her mom already told me that I needed to be concerned that if Brooke hits her head or she gets a cut, that we can't wait and see if it gets better or if it resolves itself, that we have to go straight to the hospital if that does in fact happen. So I have already been told by Brooke's mom that we all have to be concerned for her and work out for her, as we always should anyways. But yes. And I've also heard of Eliquis too. I've seen Eliquis commercials. Another option for your.
I got two options here.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to be a millionaire over this whole ordeal. I'm going to be dancing in those fake sets.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Like where they do like the slow motion, like my life. I got my life back. Thanks to
really
Eliquis. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be my life. But no, it was. I've gotten to the place like. As I told you before we started this podcast, I had a bit of a meltdown last night, which I expected because I'm an emotional person. I'm a sensitive person, and I don't like not working, and it really bothers me. During COVID, I was like, I'm reminded of the feeling I felt during COVID, where I was watching games like Kevin and Lamar saying, "We hope Brooke's watching with her feet up in those Oklahoma City slippers," which I was, and I was started crying. I was like, I am right now. And so I felt that way like the other night. And it's just like, I got to get over myself, like things happen to people. This is not like a Brooke thing, like something happened to me. It sucks. I'm not happy about it, but I'm going to miss some games. I don't like that, but it's just like,
you're allowed to be upset about that, Brooke. Like you're allowed to be upset that you've had something happen to you that keeps you from doing things you like to do. That's okay, Brooke. You're allowed to do that. Like that's not you being ungrateful or anything of that nature. You're allowed to be like, hey, this sucks, and I wish it didn't happen, and it makes me mad and sad that it did. Because I was thinking about this too, Brooke, that so like all of us miss games and trips from time to time for the most part. You don't though, typically. Like I was like, yeah, there's like 2 or 3 trips a year I don't go on. Both Kevin and Lamar miss games sometimes, like they either for whatever reason, even like people in the truck, like sometimes like, like there's a scheduling conflict or like, so we all kind of rotate throughout the season. Except for you, like you go to every single game, you go to every single trip. And so for you to not go on this one, it's completely understandable why you would feel this way. So I really want you to not feel bad about that. Like it's understandable why you would feel that way because that's what you're accustomed to. Like it's your baseline, and it's kind of like you view yourself a lot through your work, as I think a lot of us do. And yeah, so it's hard when that gets taken away. So that's all right, Brooke. Like you're it's okay. Like you don't need to feel bad about feeling bad about it. That's perfectly valid.
Thank you, Casey. You're making me cry right now. But thank you. No, I really like working. Like I don't like missing games. I don't like it. I feel like I don't know. I get to know these players so well and these coaches, and like I feel like I'm like letting them down sometimes. Like if I know that sounds silly, but like last game that I on the road that I wasn't there, I was like, like I was picturing like how I would do the interview, and Travis did a great job, but I was like, I know these guys so well. Like I feel bad that like I let them down. I'm not there, and they're fine. They don't care. I mean, not they don't. I don't mean to say they don't care. They're not like, how dare Brooke not be at this game? They're fine. They're thinking about their game, but at the same time, I'm thinking like, I wish I could have been there because I'm supposed to be there, and they expect me to be there.
Yeah. And you're right for the most part. What I will say is me doing a terrible job of filling in for you. The first thing they're going to say is, where is Brooke at? Why do I have to talk to you, Casey? Where is Brooke? So they are going to feel that way here in about 4 or 5 hours when I'm the one that's putting the mic to their face and they're like, wait, I usually get to talk to Brooke and now I have to talk to you? Like why are we hustling backwards here? But so you can feel that way in a little bit, Brooke. But yeah, so long story short, I'm really glad that you're doing better, and I know everyone else is too. I'm really glad that you stated that too, because to your point, it is Heart Month, and it's yeah, like this is a terrible thing that has happened to you, but now it is at least a cautionary tale that you can impart upon other people, which is something you've been doing for years now with your Brooke Hearts Your Heart campaign. So
Yeah, it's crazy that this happened. Like I was on a radio show this morning. I was telling you, Casey, during Sprague, I was joking, like, yeah, like we needed a couple more $1,000. So I was like, I guess I'll just go and fake a pulmonary embolism. And maybe I can
Brooke is willing to put it on the line in order to get across the finish line in terms of that fundraising goal. He's like, hey, if I gotta pull a 4-day stint in a Vegas hospital, which you mentioned the Vegas emergency room, I still haven't heard any of those stories yet, and I'm
Oh
very much looking
God.
forward to it at some point in time. Where
Can I
maybe
tell
we'll
you one
save that
story?
for like you can do like a series on the podcast where like you can
Okay.
recount one of these stories of the Vegas emergency room, which again I'm sure is quite a
It's
slice of life.
something. I will tell you, can I tell you just one quick story about it?
Please.
Okay, so when I went into the procedure that I was telling you about, where they're going to suck the blood clots out, right? So they have that was like their like surgery room. So it was like the same people all do the same surgery. So it's like a family of people. So there was a gal that like brought me in, set me up. She's talking to me, oh, blah blah, and we're just catching up. Where are you from? Where are you from? And then these two guys that are nurses, and they came up and they were hilarious and they were being very funny. And the surgeon like came in last, and he was kind of like Wizard of Oz, like didn't come in until it was time, and like he just put his arms up and they put gloves on him and stuff. So in my mind, because I've been so obsessed with the pit, I named everyone in my mind. I named everyone in that room people from the pit, so I would feel comfortable. So the first gal was Mel, who's my favorite character.
Yeah.
Mel, and then the other two nurses were is it Doherty? In my mind, I knew who they were. It's hard to remember other names.
Yeah, names are tough.
But Mel is my number one top dog. And so she was my go-to, and she was next to me the whole time. And every time I was like, Mel, even one time, and she told me, I called her Mel. She's like, you called me Mel. I was like, you're Mel to me. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, from the pit. She's like, oh, I haven't watched it yet. I'm like, oh my God, you are Mel. So like the whole entire room of surgeons, like the surgery room, like I named them all from the pit and it made me feel more comfortable. And it was the best thing I did the whole time. So anyways, the pit, I'm so excited. Tomorrow's Thursday and the new episode comes out. And now I feel like I know everyone from that show. I know what everyone does. I feel like I am a full blown doctor in my mind. I know exactly how to do surgery and is what I do
Was
now.
the surgeon, did he have some Dr. Robbie hunkiness to him or no?
Girl, he was like 90. No, I was so sad.
He should have been
I was
like,
like,
I can't call
Dr.
you Dr.
Robbie.
Robbie. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Like,
I was waiting for Dr. Robbie to walk out and he
you're like,
never did.
I'm a journalist, and like, I am tasked with telling the truth, and I cannot, in good conscience, as a journalist, call you 90-year-old surgeon, who's probably a great surgeon.
He
I'm
was
sure you are,
wonderful.
but
He was.
you don't, you're not swarthy and
You know what was funny? It was that Mel, when she first greeted me, she's like, by the way, when you see Dr. David, you're gonna probably like, wow, I can't believe his age, but he's amazing. Well, I thought he was gonna be like 25. I thought it was gonna be like Doogie Howser. I thought he was
it
gonna be
was the
super
other
young.
direction. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the other direction. He walks out. I was like, oh, that's not what I was expecting. I thought he walked out. I was like, is he gonna be okay?
Yeah, it's like what surgery are you having today, sir? Are you the next person here? Like
He was great. Dr. David, I shouldn't even say his name. That is his name, but it's his first name, so I'm not going last names. But it was so funny. I literally was expecting like a phenom, like, like a 18-year-old to walk out and be like,
yeah.
I know I look young, but I've been doing this for years. And it was like the opposite of that. I'm like, oh my gosh, Mel, you did not tell me the truth. Or you didn't like set me up for success. I was expecting Doogie Howser, and it's not that. But anyways, it went really well.
Well, that's good, Brooke, and I'm glad you're doing better. And yeah, that's why Brooke's not on this trip. Obviously, I think the wanting to an abundance of caution, and obviously we miss you out here, Brooke. But Brooke, it sounds like maybe you're gonna do some stuff back home. Though
Yeah,
also you should take the time too, Brooke. Like, don't I want to.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying.
know that can be difficult, but you might
No,
try.
you are always my voice of reason, Casey, and I am going to take the first three games and just relax. And
Yeah,
just like take
have the All-Star break that you didn't get to have because you were in the hospital. So,
That's so true. All-star breaks hate me. And then the last two games, I might go into studio and just do a hit just to remind people I'm still here and I miss you all.
again, Brooke, I'm telling you, like me filling in for you is going to really remind people that you're not there, and it's going to really remind people of how much they appreciate the job you do because they're going to be like, "Boy, we're saddled with this."
No, I'm so excited. I just found out, so our producer, Greg Fonseca, called me as I was talking to Casey to get ready for the podcast, and I answered. It was on speaker, and he's like, "What can I do for you?" Because he's so nice. We love Greg. And I said, just make sure Casey's doing stuff. And then you both at the same time were like, I'm doing the interviews tonight. I was like, no, tell me. So I was like, that's all I wanted. All I wanted is Travis does a great job. I hope you guys kind of like figure out
Yeah, we're going to split it up. Yeah.
Yeah. But
one person cannot fill in for you, Brooke. It's going to take a team.
That's very sweet of you. But I'm glad that you're doing it, and I'm really excited. I was like, that was the highlight of my day when I found that out today.
Well, you're going to have more highlights of your day if that was the highlight of it. So, but I do appreciate that, Brooke. Glad that you're doing better. So let's talk a little bit of Trailblazers, I guess, if you want to. Obviously,
I would love to talk anything about myself right now would be great.
Yeah, we're on the road here. Blazers 1-2 since the All-Star break. They come out of the break with a blowout loss to the Nuggets, which was disappointing to say the least. And then they bounced back with a low-scoring victory versus the Suns, 92-77 in Phoenix, which was I don't know if it was the largest discrepancy ever between like one performance to the next, but it was right up there. And then a close loss to the Timberwolves before heading on this trip, 124-121. And I got to be honest, Brooke, like of those three games, the game I feel best about is the game versus the Timberwolves. Even though it was a loss, like I feel like you saw stuff in that game that made you feel like, okay, like they're starting to kind of put it together a little bit. Like it feels to me like, I think the whole idea of this post All-Star kind of run for the Blazers is like, hey, what can we do in order to see if we can move up in the standings a little bit and maybe improve our chances in the play-in, or, if things really go our way, maybe get up into the playoffs. But even though they weren't able to win that game versus the Timberwolves, obviously the Timberwolves are a very good team. The Blazers playing without both Denny Avdia and Shaedon Sharpe. Unfortunately, they're going to be without Shaedon Sharpe for the next, I think, 6 to 8 or 4 to 6 weeks as he rehabs with a left fibula stress fracture. So that's a bummer. But the fact that they were able to play well in that game and really give themselves a chance to win that game without those guys, I think for me is like I saw what I felt like you needed to see in order to feel like the potential to maybe go on a bit of a run up to and including maybe on this road trip where, they haven't played especially well against teams from the East this year, but these teams are teams that are kind of around them or below them in the standings. So, maybe a chance to get on the road and maybe win a couple games here. And I feel like the way that they played in that Timberwolves game, I think should give you some confidence about their ability to do that.
Well, I will say, Casey, actually, I haven't talked to you about this. Watching it from home, it was a national game. It honestly felt like the broadcast team was like more appreciative of what they were seeing from the Blazers than the Timberwolves. I'm not kidding. It was like my dad was here and we were watching it, and he's like, "Man, it feels like this is a Blazers broadcast," which not in a way like that. What I didn't think it was natural or authentic. It was. They're like, these guys are like holding their own. Like they don't have Denny, they don't have their all-star, as you mentioned, they don't have Shaedon. But like they are showing fight. They're not giving up. They're a team that is not going to just like throw in the towel. Like it was really like very like positive towards the Trailblazers the whole night. The first half, like halftime, like the talk was more about the Blazers than the Timberwolves. And then the second half, they really were highlighting just like the positives that the Blazers were doing. Like they're not just like putting their hands up like, okay, this isn't our night, like showing fight. So I really appreciated that because, I'm watching from home and, I don't love doing that either, but that one was out of my hands. That was a national game. I couldn't have been there if I wanted to. But it was really cool to listen to, like, okay, they're seeing what we're seeing, like it's a national group. Carmelo was obviously there, Jamal Crawford, and they were giving a ton of props to the Blazers and the team them like itself as like, they're not a team to be ignored. So just so you know, I know you weren't able to watch because you were there, but it was really cool to listen to and watch. And I really appreciated it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think, we're seeing Scoot really kind of starting to round
They
into form.
high on Scoot.
Yeah.
High on Scoot.
Rightfully
And Donovan.
so. And
Donovan.
dude, Donovan has, he's in my notes here. Like Donovan has been ridiculous lately. Like his month of February is, I don't know that there's many guys who have put up the numbers that Donovan has in this month. Like he's shooting incredibly well. Yeah, he's got to be shooting like 60+% from the field. I think in the month of February shooting like 45% from three or something like that. Yeah, averaging a double-double, like 2 blocks a game, a couple assists a game. His assist numbers have really ticked up lately as well. Like he has been really good, and like so good that even for a half second I was like, well, maybe Donovan will win Player of the Month in February.
God. Like that would have been amazing.
Like he has been great lately, and he's obviously like he's played well all season long. He's had like sometimes he goes through little lulls, it seems like, where he kind of struggles a little bit, but he has really been good the last month plus, probably since maybe even start of the year. And it really changes kind of the complexion of the team and what they can do. And, particularly with guys out, they need other guys to step up. And I feel like, getting Scoot back has really helped there. I feel like Drew has really played well lately. I feel like Tamani has really played kind of low key, like doing a little bit more. And Donovan really being a guy who feels like he's taking that next step. And
can we also shout out Donovan getting engaged to Maddie?
I was going to mention it towards the end here that yes, he also is getting engaged as well. Like he's just having a good run, like, personal life, private life, like, he's just Ollie is growing up well, it seems like. So no, yeah, and them getting announcing their engagement. It looks like maybe on the sands of the beaches in Mexico, getting engaged. So congratulations to Madison and to Donovan.
Because obviously they did it over All-Star because like, my spidey senses were like, what beach is that? Where are they? I got to figure out where they got engaged. Definitely not the Oregon coast. The sand is a different color. Like, I was like trying to figure out where they got engaged.
So I thought for a half second there, like the little rock outcropping looked Oregonish to me, but you're right. The sand color was not right, and the fact that it wasn't gray in the background in February. Yeah,
you would not be wearing it the Oregon coast.
Yeah, and also, yeah, as non-Oregonians, yeah, I don't think it's like, hey, let's go to the Oregon coast. You'd be like, all right, like, I mean, and I say that as an Oregon coast lover, by the way, like, no offense.
I know you do. No, you're the number one Oregon coast lover, but like it was clear they were not at the Oregon coast. But either way, we're happy for them, and they can get engaged wherever they want. And it clearly was a much warmer temperature, but that was really cool. I mean, I don't know why I would have talked about her before, but she is the sweetest girl. She is perfect for Donovan. He has told me in the past that she was there for him when his mother passed, and she was like helped him get through all of that. So if you're wondering how, like, if she's a lovely person, she is the loveliest. And I know we want to make sure all of our guys like have, the right person. We care about them, and we care about Donovan immensely. And could not be a better person for Donovan. Like, she has been with him through all the hard stuff and the good stuff. Like, she was with him before the good stuff,
Sure. Yeah.
Ride or die. So
he wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, particularly for like pro athletes, that really means something. Like
totally.
People who were like around before, like they kind of rose to prominence. Like that's something like you learn early on when you work in professional sports. Like those are the people
I'll never
that
forget
that
when
really
I went
respect.
to the NBA awards. I can't remember if you were there, Kate. I don't think you were there, but it was the NBA awards in New York like 8 years ago, and Russell Westbrook won Player of the Year, and he went up there and he started. And I didn't, you have your opinions about Russell. He's kind of, I don't know, whatever.
Prickly, yeah.
He got up there, and I'll never forget. I appreciated what he did so much. He really had an emotional like reaction to it, and he started crying. He thanked his little brother. He's like, I know I'm the older brother, but he's been my inspiration. And then he thanked his wife, who he's like, she's been with me since day one. I remember she was a collegiate athlete as well, and he just like broke down, was like, I wouldn't be here without her, and she was with me before any of this. And it was like really heartfelt. And I've forever, since that moment, I'm like, even when Russell acts out and does weird stuff, I'm always going to remember how much he loves his wife. And she was there since day one, and he told her he appreciated her in front of the world. And so I think it's a really big deal, to your point, that like when people are with you before you make it big, it means a lot. It's like a really big deal.
Yeah. And last thing I'll say about that too is I do like when Donovan wearing like the khakis white shirt combination to like when you see that and you're at the beach, you're like, all right, we're getting engaged. Like that's totally. A 100% like that's the dude engagement outfit at the beach.
I quickly checked your nails. They were done.
Okay. I guess, yeah, they're having a little coordination there, like it. When you've been together for a long time too, as they have, like, like there's really no like secrets anymore or anything like that. Like,
I sat by her on the bus one time on a road trip, and I was like, how fun was it to be, because she went to UConn. They met in college, or no, they met before that, but they went to UConn. And I was like, how much fun was that? Like, to watch him win titles, like you're just like over and over, like what's your life like? You just get to go to UConn games, watch your boyfriend win a title, then win another one. Like, what a fun experience. She's like, I can't even explain it. She's like, and it was really cute. She was like, I don't know who deserves that, but I guess I did. It was the most fun experience of my life. I just got to go cheer him on and watch him win and win. It was like 2 years of bliss. She's like really appreciated being a part of that. And I was like, God, wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun? Just going to watch your boyfriend at UConn, and he just wins title after title.
Yeah. And it can, and obviously there's another side of that too, which is like there is a sacrifice to like we're out here for the next 10 days, like so you like it's not all gravy sometimes, but yeah, it's nice when it does work out. And yeah, I think you're exactly right. Like that'd be a fun way to go about your college experiences, to be in that realm.
Very different than mine.
Yeah. Yeah, mine too, actually. Though I believe my team did win 2 intramural floor hockey championships.
Okay, bragger.
But not at the top level though. We were in like the medium level. So but we did win them. So yeah, no, I thought so too. And what is also impressive is George Thorogood's career along with the Destroyers, because they are back with the baddest show on earth that is coming to Spirit Mountain Casino on March 13th.
Oh my God.
Known for their timeless classics like Bad to the Bone and Who Do You Love, George Thorogood and the Destroyers are ready to rock. Tickets are on sale now at spiritmountain.com. Spirit Mountain Casino, Highway 18 and Grand Ronde. Elevate your game. Thank you, Brooke. I appreciate it.
Something else,
yeah, no, I did get there. So real fast before we wrap up on this edition of the Blazers Balcony, as I mentioned, Trailblazers out on a 5-game road trip, starting with the Chicago Bulls on Thursday. That's today. Then a back-to-back Hornets Hawks on Saturday, Sunday, a Saturday, Sunday back-to-back with that Hornets game too being at 10 o'clock in the morning, Portland time, if I'm not mistaken. And then a couple days off, head to Memphis to face the Grizzlies, the Memphis Grizzlies. I was going to say the one Western Conference team on this trip, but that's not true because we finished up with the Rockets on Friday. So for me, Brooke, this trip feels a little like, I'm not saying it's like the make or break for this team because it's not, but I do feel like where they're at in terms of their ability to perhaps make a run in the second half will, in a lot of ways, kind of be sussed out on this trip. Like if they're able to come out and like Drew said before or after the game for this Timberwolves, like if they're able to come out and like win the trip, then I think you're like, all right, like we got a little something brewing here. Like, and then they have another extended road trip. I think like a week after we get back from this one. So to me, this trip does feel like an opportunity to be like, hey, if we're gonna be the team that we want to be, and perhaps again, like give ourselves an opportunity to maybe get a home playing game, and then maybe give ourselves a chance to actually make the playoffs. You know, now it's a time we have to kind of start making our move, and this trip to me feels like a good opportunity to do that.
No, I agree. At least make some like headway, you know, like just a couple wins, maybe they're not supposed to, or maybe some wins they are supposed to. But coming out of this trip, maybe at like 3-2 would be great. I think it's time because, as you mentioned, the Minnesota game, they could have won that one. They had a great showing. Nothing, I'm not taking away from that game, but could have been a win. Obviously, the other losses earlier that week, meh. But I do feel like something could be accomplished this trip, and I love that they talked about it. And you mentioned Drew. They kind of have to we're getting down to it, you know,
Yeah.
We're in the middle, we're at the end of February, and if we're going to make a push to get that play in or playoff spot, then I mean, I don't want to say, I hate the word, you know, urgency, but kind of it's there a little bit.
The guys talked about it. They were like, yeah, like there is more of an urgency now. Like it's, you know, it's not the playoffs, but it's something more than the regular season. Like it's like we have to the games take on more of a significance now that we're in the last 25 games of the season. And yeah, and we have a chance to get into the whatever you want to call the play in postseason. It is, I guess, postseason play since it's after the regular season. So like we have a chance to do that this year. We haven't done that in the last, I think, 4 seasons now. So like it's not nothing. Like it does give the games more of an importance. And I think the team realizes that. I think Thiago has talked about that as well. So, you know, I'm hoping they're able to come out and kind of put their best foot forward and again, maybe start to stack some wins on the road, which is, you know, something they haven't necessarily been able to do here recently. So how they come out of this trip, it does feel to me like not a make or break, but if, as you mentioned, if you go better than 500 on this trip, I think you go back to Portland feeling pretty good about your chances going forward. And if you're able to maybe even do a little bit better than that, I think you really start to think like, hey, what could we do? And then if you're able to get some guys back, Denny Avdia, I'm not sure how long he's going to be out with that back issue, but I think at this point in time, it's probably like, hey, let's sit down for a minute here and just see if we can see if this can solve itself. Yeah, you exactly. You and Denny, Brooke, basically, you know, two peas in a pod in terms of
just be sitting at home watching America's Next Top Model documentary. That's what I've been doing.
That's what you've been doing. Yes, I've been hearing good things about it too.
God, Tyra Banks is the worst.
She's a character. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't want to get defamatory litigation.
I was going to say you're going to get the "I trusted you" the gif here.
I rooted for you.
Yeah, I rooted for you. God, I got it wrong. God. How could I get my America's Next Top Model drops wrong? Come on, Casey.
You were so close.
Yeah, I was very close. That's me. I'm always like circling it. I never land on it, but I'm within the area at least.
You were there.
Yeah,
I understood. I felt it.
Well, thank you, Brooke. I appreciate that. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of the Blazers Balcony presented by Spirit Mountain Casino. Thank you so much for joining us as always. Brooke, I'm glad that you're feeling better. Take care, and we will talk again on this road trip. At least here when we'll talk too. But yeah,
We should do another one. Yeah, I mean, I got nothing else to do. So.
Yeah. Brooke is champing at the bit to do podcasts now that I mean, and Brooke always loves to do them anyways too, which also, by the way, I feel like I need to go back now and listen to the podcast from New York, because I think you might have mentioned your leg bothering you. And I remember at MSG, there's that big, you have to walk up this huge hill at Madison Square Garden to get to the floor. And I remember Brooke being like, oh boy, like that
was horrible. That was absolutely, I remember it. I remember every step of that walk. It was like, this is insane. And then, the media room is back in that hallway behind it. So you have to walk out there. I remember I'm just saying, like, that whole 3 weeks was such a blur because it was all I thought about. And so every step I made was revolving around the leg. Like I told you, I lost a ton of weight. I was just like trying to just live, like trying to survive. And now I go back and I think, next time, Brooke, if you're going through something like that, go to the doctor earlier. And that's what I will, that's where I will end this, is listen to your body. I know I say that all the time. I should have listened to myself earlier. I did at some point, but I should have done it earlier.
Well, and now I'm remembering that I made you walk around when we went to see Marty Supreme because I sent us to the wrong theater. So yeah, and you're like, no, it's fine. And the whole time you're like, my leg is burning. I can't believe Casey's making me walk around. It's like 10 degrees outside and I am walking on one leg right now. So yeah, I forgot about that. And in retrospect, I feel worse about it than I did.
You have to sit for 9 hours for the movie because it was that long.
It was that long. You're right. And then Brooke was making friends afterwards too, as she always does wherever we go.
I did.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you soon. Brooke.
Peace out. That was the saddest peace out.